they came out and they did exactly what we saw on film. You know, played straight up like cover one man. You know, as receivers, that's something that you love. So, I mean, me, Strib, Rashad, you know, we'll Talon, we'll get back in the film room and stuff and look at things like we could have done better and stuff. You know, can't really point fingers to anybody else, but like, I mean, our own, because I mean, we knew coming into the game, like, we were gonna have to be the ones to win to like help us like get over the top. So, I mean, just one of those days didn't happen, so we just gotta move on.
What kind of shifts did, I guess, those last 2 or 3 drives when y'all were, you know, able to go, were able to score? I mean, were they doing anything differently in that fourth quarter than the first half?
I mean, no, not really. I think like towards the end, they kind of just started playing a little bit like softer, just because I mean, the first half and stuff, they were like pressuring a lot. You know, a bunch of zero. They were playing like really low. They kind of just softened up, so it kind of opened up some lanes to like throw and stuff like that. So I mean, that was probably like the biggest difference in like the last 2 drives.
Was it kind of in the first half, especially? Was it kind of play calling? Was it? I mean, because you said that you saw what it looked like they did on film. You know, as far as scheme and stuff. I mean, why weren't y'all able to?
We just got to win. I mean, I know there's a play, the third down where number 2 undercuts me. And, I mean, if he catches it, I mean, it's probably a pick 6. I mean, that's one where, I mean, the zero, you got to take the middle because there's nobody in the middle. So, I mean, that's one where, like, I mean, just from off the top of my head where I messed up. I should have made a better read on that. And, you know, because if he throws it to me, well, Gavin broke in. If he throws it to Gavin, Gavin's walking in the touchdown. You know, he looked at me. I was wrong. You know, so that's what I'm saying. Like, it was just one of those days where, like, you know, everybody, you know, had their part, but especially the receivers. I can speak for the receivers since, I mean, we're the ones that, you know, it was our game to, like, take over, and, like, we just didn't do that today. So, I mean, we all feel bad about it, but, you know, as much as I say move on, you got to learn from it. I mean, you got to remember, like, how much this sucks. You just got to, you know, put this in the back of your pocket, in the back of your mind, and play with it the rest of the season.
What was your reaction to the quarterback subs?
I mean, it was just something, you know, kind of like, I mean, offense was sputtering, so something Gundy just did to, you know, like, you know, see if, you know, something could change and, you know, stuff like that. But, I mean, we know Bowman's the guy, like, going forward, you know, it was no big deal, at least, like, to us, that, you know, how he's doing it. It was just something like, you know, we kind of got to get the juices flowing and, like, you know, whatever it takes to win, like, the game that you're in at that point, and then you worry about everything else later, so.
What'd you see from each quarterback?
I mean, it's kind of like the same, like, receivers, like, I'm going to put the game on us. I mean, we just have to win. You know, if we could create more separation, you know, get open faster, you know, make the right reads and stuff like that. You know, I mentioned mine where I should have broke in. You know, Rashad, he drops a pass. I mean, I know Chib, he drops a pass like coming out of halftime, and it's not like poo-pooing on anybody, but it's like, you know, receivers, we all had our part in, you know, coming out there and like making plays today that could have, you know, changed the game or could have like turned the turning point way earlier in the game rather than like later like we did. Because as you saw in the later game, we started making the catches, we started making plays, the offense started moving down the field. So that's what I'm saying, like, you know, just this game is on the receivers.
Brennan, how do you feel Garrett handled this situation? Thrown in there.
I mean, he handled it great. I mean, that's a top 12 team in the country. You know, notoriously great defense. You know, they're gonna be stout. They're gonna do what they know. They play physical and stuff like that. So like to just get kind of like thrust into that, you know, moment and that opportunity. I mean, that's not something that, you know, you're always prepared, of course, but you know, in a big, you know, game like this, I mean, that's something that he's handled beautifully.
In a game like this, do you focus more, you know, tomorrow in the film or, you know, this week at film and stuff? Are you focusing more on the things you did good to kind of just do that for a full game, or are you focusing more on the things that didn't work well?
I mean, I think it's a mix of both. You got to focus on what you did bad, so like that way you can look at it and be like, all right, you know, this didn't work. But then you got to focus on the ones that you did win. So I'll be like, okay, if I go against this type of opponent next time I can do this. Or next time I can do this. The next time I can do this. So I mean, we just have to, you know, take it upon ourselves to kind of like do that, because I mean, you know, we all have, you know, me, Rashad, and Strip, we all have dreams of going to the league, and, you know, the rest of the receivers do too. So it's like, I mean, you can't blame anybody. You know, you get to the league, it's not going to be like quarterback this, that. It's going to be like, hey, you have to win your matchup. So we just take that, you know, up on ourselves, and, you know, it's nobody else's fault but, you know, ourselves in terms of like, we got to go out there, we got to win.
Given the explosive ability in Utah's offense, regardless of the quarterback, how do you feel like your defense held its ground today?
Oh, they played great. They played amazing. I mean, I don't know how many snaps they played, but I know they played a lot. And to hold them to, you know, at 22 points, and, you know, that last, you know, fourth quarter, like, touchdown. So really, what, 22, 15, I think, yeah, 15. The totals were like 15, 13. I don't know what,
16 points, yeah.
it's almost
16
16 points,
Mm-hmm.
throughout the really entirety of the game when they were on the field for like, that many snaps. It's hot and stuff like that. They played great, and we tried to like pay back, but sometimes it's just one of those days that it happens.
Even when the offense wasn't fluent, with how the defense was playing, how much does that give you guys confidence that you could still one play away from changing?
I give us a lot of confidence. I mean, we were saying that up and down the sideline, like really the entire second half. Like we're just one play away from sparking this thing open because somebody makes a play, the next person makes a play, the next thing we're in the game, and we got all the things and tools that we need. So, like we knew the situation at hand, so it was just about making the play at that point.
Does this loss feel any different than the ones last year? Does it feel similar? What are kind of your views on that?
I mean, every loss hurts. I mean, I guess you could say some hurts more than others. It just depends on how you personally did, or just how you feel like you could have done, or something like that. So, I mean, this hurts no more than any other loss. Every loss hurts. I mean, it's not. There's one you go home, dang, it sucks. Think about it. Think about what you did wrong, what you could have done better, and stuff like that. Come in tomorrow, watch the film about it. But then, after 24 hours, whether we won today or whether we lost, put it back in your mind because it's on to K-State. It was really early in the season. I mean, we lost the conference opener last year at Iowa State. And, we could have hung our hats thin, and we had another K-State team, to play after that. So it's very early in the season just to, start being like, oh, this and this and this and that. Like, we know the type of team we have. I mean, to be down that much the entire game, we could have gave up way earlier than what we did. But to people say, well, they came back late. It was like that. I mean, what does that tell you? It tells you a lot about the team.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to give up. We're resilient. We're tough. We're going to battle. Whether we're up by 20 or whether we're down by 20. Everybody's going to play till the final score. So, I mean, if you look at that just from a team perspective, that's something I'm really proud about, and I'm really happy to be on this team.
Is there more for Brennan? Is there any frustration in that you guys did get it going at the end? Like, man, why couldn't we get this going just a little bit sooner?
No, there's no frustration. I mean, Coach Gundy says it every single game. No fear, no frustration. You go out there, somebody makes a play. Happy, somebody doesn't. It is what it is. You just got to move on. But you start playing with fear and frustration and stuff. That's when you start getting fights on the sideline. You start getting people unfocused on the field and stuff. When the task at hand is just play the next play and then go out there and do your best. So there's no frustration.
How have you seen Ollie just kind of deal with these first 4 games and not having the 100-yard games like he did last year?
I mean, he's the best back in the country. I mean, last year he was a true sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's coming into the season, you didn't really know much about him, and now the whole country knows about him. So it's we know there's going to be extra attention on him, extra added attention on him, and I think he's realized that throughout these first 4 weeks and stuff. That people are game planning to stop him, and that opens up more opportunities for us on the perimeter and stuff to go out there and win. And we also know we have to do our job in terms of when we do run the ball, we have to dig out safeties, we have to go block and stuff like that. So he's done great in handling it, and we just got to help him out.
You're not having to keep a spirit.